Bill Maher is back at it, dismantling woke arguments like it's his full-time job. This time, he's setting his sights on Whoopi Goldberg. Let's be honest, she had it coming given her string of cringeworthy statements since 2022. Maher didn't just call her out, he tore her arguments apart piece by piece in a takedown so sharp it left Whoopi scrambling like a cartoon character dodging anvils. So what did Goldberg say this time to draw Maher's unfiltered wrath, and how did his clapback leave the mob reeling? Don't worry, we've got all the juicy details. Buckle up, folks. This isn't just
this endless, unforgiving, zero-tolerance mindset bent on punishing and disappearing anyone caught saying the wrong thing. The right response to speech you don't like is more speech.
Bumpy ride, it's a roller coaster with no seatbelts. To get past this endless, unforgiving, zero-tolerance mindset bent on punishing and disappearing anyone caught saying the wrong thing, the right response to speech you don't like is more speech. Whoopi Goldberg just poked the bear, and now she's facing the claws of brutal truth. Trust me, it's not pretty. Remember when Bill Maher tore into Sunny Hostin for twisting his words?
And black people can't afford to indulge rich white people's need to endlessly flagellate themselves. They just want prices to go down and good jobs and the police when you call them.
Well, if he's right, then why didn't people vote for the former prosecutor who actually had policy plans to help the working class?
Well, it seems the crew at The View isn't taking the loss quietly this time. Whoopi Goldberg stepped in, apparently on a revenge mission to settle the score. Looks like Sunny couldn't handle the heat, so she called in backup Whoopi herself. And wow, did she come in swinging, ready to rumble like a reality show contestant no one asked for. But black people can't afford to indulge rich white people's need to endlessly flagellate themselves. They just want prices to go down, good jobs, and the police when you call them. If he's right, then why didn't people vote for the former prosecutor who actually had policy plans to help the working class? I mean, classic Whoopi Goldberg, flipping through the woke playbook like it's her Bible. When your argument's sinking faster than the Titanic, just build a straw man and go on the attack. Bill Maher made a clear point. Black Americans want better jobs, a stronger economy, and responsible policing. Simple, right? But here comes Whoopi, rambling about voting for a former prosecutor with plans for the working class. Does it connect? Not even close. It's like she's playing darts blindfolded, hoping something sticks. Spoiler alert, it doesn't. And of course, Bill Maher didn't let it slide. No, it's not that I've gotten old, it's that your ideas are stupid. Bill Maher didn't hold back, calling out Whoopi's idea.
All of the criticism is valid because, Democrats stand on this moral high ground all the time and, they act so self-righteous. The reality is he didn't have to say anything in regards to, whether or not, his son wanted to be pardoned. He could have said, hey, man, I'm not focused on that right now.
Nonsensical, par for the course on The View. Let's be honest, the show has become the political talk show equivalent of a train wreck, painful to watch but impossible to look away from. It's already known for its controversial and, let's face it, questionable takes on almost everything, but Whoopi Goldberg and Sunny Hostin somehow managed to crank up the chaos with their outrageous commentary. Remember when Charlemagne the God braved the set as a guest? You could practically see him questioning if he'd stepped into an alternate reality. All of the criticism is valid because, Democrats stand on this moral high ground all the time, and they act so self-righteous. The reality is, he didn't have to say anything in regards to, whether or not his son wanted to be pardoned. He could have said,
hey, stop you for a second.
Uh-oh.
Only because you don't know that it was a lie. We don't know why he changed
You really think he just changed his mind over Thanksgiving weekend all of a sudden?
No, I'm going to tell you what I think.
Okay. Yeah.
I think he changed his mind because he got sick of watching everybody else get over.
Hey, I'm not focused on that right now, but here's the backstory. President Joe Biden, the so-called champion of no one being above the law, just pardoned his son, Hunter Biden, after he was found guilty of corruption and other related offenses. Talk about family values, right? Unsurprisingly, this move sparked a fire.
This nation was founded on the principle that there are no kings in America. Each of us is equal before the law. No one is above the law, not even the President of the United States.
Storm of criticism. How do you preach accountability when your own son gets a free pass? It's like claiming justice is blind unless you're a Biden. Hunter's guilt was as obvious as a toddler with cookie crumbs on his face, yet accountability somehow didn't make it onto the family calendar. And that was exactly Charlemagne's point. If the woke mob claims no one is above the law, then they should live by their own standards. Simple, right? Well, Whoopi didn't see it that way.
So I'm just gonna follow the straight and narrow always, because that's what's expected of Democrats.
But that's their fault. They're the ones that they're the ones that go out there and they stand on this moral
I'm gonna stop you
high
for a
ground. They don't have to
second.
do that.
Only because you don't know that it was a lie. We don't know why he changed. You really think he just changed his mind over Thanksgiving weekend? Oh no, I'm gonna tell you what I think. I think he changed his mind because he got sick of watching everybody else get over. And there you have it, another eye-roll-inducing gem from the queen of cringe herself, Whoopi Goldberg.
You love to speak truth to power, and we always should, but you have completely lost the ability to speak truth to bullshit.
This time, Whoopi actually claimed that President Biden didn't lie when he said no one was above the law. Seriously, Whoopi? Because there's a mountain of evidence, video, audio, and probably even cave paintings, proving he said exactly that. This nation was founded on the principle that there are no kings in America. Each of us is equal before the law. No one is above the law, not even the President of the United States. Watching Whoopi tell a blatant lie is like watching someone argue the sky isn't blue while standing under a cloudless sky. At this point, her mental gymnastics could qualify for the Olympics, though she'd probably trip over her own logic. Even Charlemagne looked visibly shocked at her statements. But Whoopi didn't stop there. She went on to claim that maybe Biden changed his mind because he was sick and tired of everyone getting over on him. Charlemagne, stunned into silence, said, "So I'm just gonna follow the straight and narrow always because that's what's expected of Democrats? But they're the ones that go out there and they stand on this moral high ground. They don't have to."
Was it appropriate to bury the Hunter Biden?
You're talking about the press doing that?
He's saying that's what they did, and that is what they did. They buried the Hunter Biden story before the election because they were like, we can't risk having the election thrown to Trump. We'll tell them after the election.
And we know for a fact that that's what they did?
Of course. You don't
but
follow
I mean,
this.
saying you know for a fact that that's what they did. I don't know what they did.
I know, because you only watch MSNBC.
Do that. The problem with the woke mob is they only call out wrongdoing when the offender isn't part of their exclusive little club. But when it's one of their own, the outrage suddenly turns into whispered excuses or a convenient case of selective amnesia. Whoopi and her crew might have gotten away with their nonsense while Charlemagne was on the show, but when Bill Maher caught...
Above any matters of politics or what's right or wrong, the one thing I know for sure about America is this. It's run by mean girls. Mean girls in the press and in politics and in life. And when they smell blood in the water, the lust to finish off a vulnerable person will never be denied.
Wind of their antics, he said, "Hold my beer," and delivered one of the sharpest verbal takedowns we've heard in a while. We love to speak truth to power, and we always should, but you have completely lost the ability to speak truth to... Maher couldn't have said it better. The woke mob loves to parade as the ultimate truth tellers and moral compasses, but their double standards were on full display this time. Hunter Biden was guilty, plain and simple. But because his dad happens to sit in the Oval Office, he gets to walk away with no consequences. If this were anyone else, the mob would be calling for their head on a silver platter. But when it's one of their own, suddenly justice takes a backseat to favoritism. It's hypocrisy at its finest, and Maher was right to call it out for what it truly is. A complete farce. The real question is, how much longer will Americans tolerate this two-faced behavior?